Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon TCG live online match. So this week what we're doing is continuing the trend of checking out the Break evolutions from Fates Collide. This week we'll look at Lugia BREAK and trying to make its Flash of Destruction attack kind of viable in a competitive sense. But before we get into the deck description and the deck build and the ideas I have working for that, I do want to mention I picked up a couple things today. I did get the Mythical Pokemon Collection Manaphy, which is the legendary Pokemon, or mythical Pokemon, for the month of May in the Pokemon 20 celebration. I also did pick up the Blastoise EX collection, Red and Blue, or sorry, Blastoise EX Red and Blue collection as well. So as I was saying along the way, these two collection boxes are going to replace the Darkrai Mythical Pokemon Collection and the Charizard EX Red and Blue collection on my shelf here. These are going to be held as sort of giveaway sort of things for if we hit certain subscriber counts on the channel. If we hit 700 subscribers by the time, or sorry, before the time the next Mythical Pokemon collection comes out, I will open the Manaphy collection on camera in a news update video, offering out the code card to lucky viewers that participate in the question of the day. Blastoise is going to be held on to in case we hit 1,000 subscribers before the next one comes out, at which point I'll do this as an unboxing on camera. And also, I'd like to pick a second one of these up and do a mail-out physical copy of this for a viewer as well. So we do have these now. They're going to replace the Darkrai and Charizard collection on here. Now, initially what I was thinking, I was just going to open these for myself, keep the, I'm going to keep the cards, of course, the physical copies, and I was going to use the codes for my own collection online, but I kind of still like the idea of offering these out to you viewers out there. So we're going to do a little experiment this week. I'm going to set a like goal for this particular video. If this video hits a certain number of likes by next Monday, June 6th, when I do my next update video, or sorry, news update video, I will open up these boxes, one or the other, on that video and offer up the code card as a giveaway for that question of the day in that particular video. So, I've never done this before. I'm considering trying to figure out like a proper number for it. What I would like to do is, I want to start kind of low just to see how this goes. If this video today can hit 25 likes by next Monday's news update video, I'll open the Mythical Pokemon Collection Darkrai and offer that code card out in that question of the day. But if we can hit 50 likes on this video, I will also open up the Charizard collection as well and offer that code to you guys out there as well. So feel free to share this video with your friends that are interested in Pokemon TCG, and hopefully they'll like the content, and if we get those likes high enough, we'll have these two boxes opened up, at least the Darkrai, but if we can hit 50, sorry, well 25, we'll open up the Darkrai. 50 likes, we'll open up the Charizard EX, and those code cards will be given out as a giveaway for that question of the day. So feel free to share this video with everybody that you would like to. So all that being said, let's now take a look at the deck I've constructed for the Lugia BREAK and the Flash of Destruction, and see if we can actually make this attack, which discards your own energy as a cost of the the downside of the attack. See if we can make that a little bit more viable and useful in the Pokemon TCG Online. So let's begin. The name of the deck for this week's video is called BREAK Guardian, because it's going to focus on the Guardian of the Seas, which you'll see here is Lugia, or namely Lugia BREAK. So, for 4 Colorless Energy, the Flash of Destruction attack does 150 damage at the cost of discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. So, kind of costly. It's going to cause 2 energy to be discarded. There are many ways you can get around that, of course, and I'm going to focus on 1 or 2 kind of particular ways I can do that. But, as you see here, Lugia, the basic form, has the Pressure ability, which is pretty nice. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, any damage done by attacks from your opponent's active Pokemon is reduced by 20 before we can send resistance. The nice thing about this is, if they have an attack that will target your benched Pokemon, this Pressure ability still reduces that damage by 20 as well, because it doesn't state only reducing damage to your active Pokemon. So for 3 Colorless Energy, 1 less energy than the Flash of Destruction, Intensifying Burn does 60 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokémon-EX, this does 60 more damage, so you do double damage against any opposing Pokémon-EX. I've got 3 Lugia BREAK in the deck and 3 regular Lugia. One way we're going to make use of the Flash of Destruction a little bit more reliably is using a few Pokemon from the Phantom Forces expansion, Bronzong. Now, interestingly enough, when I started up the game, it says Bronzong BREAK. There's some sort of an online glitch where it is not limiting the damage it can be done using the Metal Rain attack. So currently Bronzong BREAK is suspended. Not that that really affects this deck at all. I just thought it was kind of an interesting little tidbit to mention. But we're going to make use of the Metal Link's ability. Once during your turn, before your attack, you may attach a Metal Energy from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. The idea I want to work with is, I want to cycle 2 of these Lugia BREAK back and forth. One can use the Flash of Destruction, losing 2 of those 4 energy cards. On the next turn, we can retreat it to the bench. The other Lugia BREAK can come up to attack, but before we do that, I can use 2 of the Bronzong on the bench to reattach 2 metal energy to the Lugia that previously attacked and lost 2 energy. If I can keep this rotation going, I can indefinitely use that Flash of Destruction and just tear through the opposing team. Now, we have 3 Bronzong in here and 3 basic Bronzor just to get them into play. It's going to round out the Pokemon in the deck at 12. Scrolling down, we've got 12 energy cards, we got 10 basic metal energy, and just a couple double colorless, because in a pinch, if I need to get 2 energy onto one of those Lugia BREAK to power up Flash of Destruction, double colorless could be a way to do that. So that is the 12 energy cards. Now we're going to look at the 36 trainer cards in the deck, starting with Acrobike. Look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put one into your hand and discard the other one. Obviously, a nice way to use this would be if the 2 top cards, one of them is a metal energy, I can freely discard that one, because we can reattach it using metal links from Bronzong, and whatever the other card is, I can simply take. I've got 2 Acrobikes, 2 energy retrievals, just in case we can't make use of the metal links as often as I would like. We can get 2 basic energy retrieved from the discard pile into my hand. Of course, metal energy is the only basic energy we have. One way to get around the kind of decent retreat cost of 2 on Lugia, and we don't want to lose the energy, Escape Rope. It's going to force my opponent to switch, and then I can switch to a Benched Pokemon as well. Evo Soda is here to help get the Bronzor or Lugia evolved up. You can look for the evolution right from within the deck. I've got a Heavy Ball and Level Ball. These two kind of go hand in hand. The only Pokemon these two apply to would be Bronzor for the Level Ball and Bronzong for the Heavy Ball. So we might be able to make use of those instead of using a supporter. As you'll see in a little bit, I've got some supporters to get your Pokemon in play. Now, just in case we see the opponent has a Mega Evolution Pokemon on their bench, we're going to include the Mega Catcher, just for fun. I included it in one of the earlier videos of Fates Collide, but I didn't get to use it. I might be able to make use of it today. I do have 2 Professor's Letters in here to get 2 basic energy out of the deck, of course, 2 basic metal energy. I'm running a couple of Super Rods as well, since we are going to be losing some energy and possibly lose some Pokemon to some opposing damage. So I can shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy right back into the deck. Switch card is also in here to get the Lugia maneuvered around. The idea is, look at the other Lugia. If I don't want to lose the energy, because it's going to take 2 turns to fully power up the Lugia once again, I can play the switch card, we'll retain these 2 energy, and I'm assuming this is after the Lugia BREAK attacked, right? So we've already lost 2 energy. Once that one is back on the bench for free, we can then use the Bronzong ability of Metal Links to put the 2 energy back on. I didn't mention it either, but essentially, if I can get all 3 Bronzong in play, I can power up a Lugia BREAK on a single turn by attaching 1 metal energy from hand and metal linksing, if that's the proper term, 3 discarded metal energy back onto the Lugia BREAK. So we can get that back and fully powered in a single turn if all things go well. 2 Ultra Balls are here. I always like to mention Ultra Ball, Professor's Letter, and Energy Retrieval combo is one of my favorite things to do. I can play the Professor's Letter to get 2 basic energy out of the deck, play an Ultra Ball and discard 2 cards from hand, namely those basic energy, choose a Pokemon and put it in my hand, and then, if need be, I can Energy Retrieval, bringing those 2 basic energy back into hand. Now, I might not make use of those as much this time because I do have the Metal Links abilities of the Bronzong. It's a little bit better in this case because it attaches directly to a Pokemon as opposed to going into your hand and being one of those 1 energy per turn attachments that you can do. So the other items in the deck are going to be a couple of Versus Seekers. I like to run at least 2, usually just 2, and it's going to let me bring back any of the supporters I'll be using for this particular deck, starting with Bridget. Search your deck for 1 basic Pokemon-EX, forget that, we have no EXs, or 3 basic Pokemon, except for EX, and put them onto your bench. Good way to thin the deck and speed up your retrieval of your Pokemon. I always like to have at least 1 Lysandre, forcing the opponent's Benched Pokemon into the active spot before it's ready to take a hit or ready to attack. It's a good way to disrupt the opponent's strategy. You can take something out that's currently powering up on the bench and destroy it, take out all its energy before the opponent is ready to do anything. Just for fun, we're going to include N. I'm sure you're probably familiar with this if you are a fan of the TCG. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck, and then each player draws a card for each remaining prize card that they have. So that could disrupt the opponent. It forces them to shuffle their hand too. If they have a pretty decent hand, you could whittle them down to whatever number of prize cards they have remaining. Pokemon Center Lady is a nice basic healing of 60 damage and special conditions. We have Pokemon Fan Club as well to find 2 basics from the deck and put them into hand. And it might seem kind of counterproductive to run both Bridget and Pokemon Fan Club, but there's an important distinction I want to make about that. Bridget puts the Pokemon right onto your bench, whereas the Fan Club puts them into your hand. Now, if need be, I can use the Fan Club to get 2 basics in hand, and I can then use one as discard fodder for the Ultra Ball, and just basically it gives you more options of what you can work with. So I do have Professor Birch's Observations and Professor Sycamore, both for good draw support. I'm including 2 Skyla to help me find some other trainer cards in the deck. I like to run 1, but sometimes 2 come in handy, and they're going to help me find any of the other trainers that will get my strategy into play. I'm also including Winona from Roaring Skies. Search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon, namely the Lugia or the Lugia BREAK, reveal them and put them into your hand. So she could come in pretty handy to get these Guardians of the Sea in play as quickly as possible. We're going to include Zero Sick as well. Choose a Pokemon tool or special energy card attached to a Pokemon in play, yours or your opponent's, and discard it. So, more often than not, you're going to get rid of your opponent's items, but you'll see I have a number of tool cards. Some of them might not be as handy as others in this particular deck, so Zero Sick could get rid of a tool off of my own Pokemon, and I can attach a different tool based on the situation that requires it. Now, I didn't really have any idea for stadiums to use for this deck because it's pretty standard, so whenever I'm not sure what stadium to use, Mountain Ring is my go-to stadium. The basic idea with this is I can discard whatever stadium the opponent happens to be using that's going to benefit their side by playing my Mountain Ring, and the only nice thing, or I shouldn't say the only nice thing, but the really nice thing about this is it prevents all damage done to benched Pokemon by attacks, both yours and your opponent's. If I'm running a deck that does not damage the bench, I can freely play this Mountain Ring. It's not going to hinder my strategy whatsoever, but it could disrupt the opponent if they are planning to target my bench. So I got 2 Mountain Rings in here just to, as I say, discard the opponent's stadium. I've got 5 tool cards, 4 of which are for my own Pokemon. Now, as I said, the pressure ability of Lugia reduces all damage done by the opponent's active Pokemon by 20, but let's take a look at this one here first. Hard Charm. If I want to reduce damage even more and really slow things down, I can attach the Hard Charm to the active Lugia. The Lugia in question will take 20 less damage in addition to the pressure, so 40 less damage if it has this Hard Charm attached to it. But if they're running special energy on their Pokemon, I can attach the Assault Vest. I have one of these in the deck as well, 1 Hard Charm as well. And if the opponent has special energy, any damage done to the Pokemon this card is attached to by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energy attached to them is reduced by 40. So it's going to be a reduction of 60 damage using the Assault Vest if the opponent's using special energy. That includes things like double colorless or perhaps burning energy, strong energy, anything like that. And the other 2 items, these are the ones I want to make use of the most, are the Float Stones. The Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. That's going to allow me to freely cycle a Lugia BREAK back to the bench, and the other one can come up. We can then attach energy to the benched one, the active one can attack, and Float Stone back the next turn, and vice versa. Going to keep the rotation of our Lugia BREAK going pretty handily. Now, just in case we see the opponent using some Pokémon-EX, I'm going to include the Jamming Net, which is another damage-reducing item. This is a Team Flare Hyper Gear, which is an item, a tool that attaches to the opposing Pokemon, only against an EX of course. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 20 less damage to all defending Pokemon. So that's going to come in pretty handy. We're going to reduce damage so much on the opposing side if, of course, I get all these cards in play when I need them in play. So that is the deck of Guardian, or is it BREAK Guardian did I call it? Yes. And we got 12 Pokemon, 12 energy, 36 trainer cards. Let's jump into some battles right now and see how well Lugia BREAK, with the assistance of the Metal Link's Bronzong, do in this week's Pokemon TCG live online match. Alright, the BREAK Guardian is up against Malli 36, who has the advantage over us. Looks like a colorless darkness, and I didn't notice if there was another energy in their deck collection, but we win the coin flip. Let's take that first turn and see if we can get ourselves set up for the Lugia BREAK attack. We do have Lugia, nice, good one to start with. We do have the pressure ability. And we have the excellent combo, Ultra Ball, Energy Retrieval, and Professor's Letter. We have Evo Soda, we got Skyla, we got so much to work with here. So let's go ahead and Professor's Letter and grab those 2 energy, 2 basic metal. We're going to Ultra Ball. Discard those 2 energy right now. Find ourselves a Bronzor to put to the bench. And let's go ahead and grab Skyla, and we're going to find ourselves a Winona. No, you know what? Let's go for Bridget, wherever she happens to be. I'm going to get 3 more basics onto my bench next turn. So we'll energy retrieval, taking those 2 metal energy back into hand so we can start powering up the Lugia. I didn't even mention, but we see we're facing against a Zorua on the opposing side. So that's all I can play from hand. My opponent now takes their first turn of the game. We're looking like we're in a pretty good setup, of course. So we do have the option to evolve into Lugia Lugia BREAK using the Evo Soda. Fighting Fury Belt. More HP. Now Moonlight Madness does confuse us, which is totally fine. I'm going to thin the deck a little bit more. I'm going to use a Heavy Ball and find one of the other Bronzong in the deck. Although I do have one in hand, this is going to help ensure I get better card draws, possibly, by taking another card out of the deck. Now we're going to go with the Bridget, getting some more basics. We'll go Bronzor Lugia. That is all we have left. I was trying to strategize until I realized, wait, there's only 3 left in the deck regardless. So Evo Soda into Lugia BREAK. We have all 3 in the deck, it looks like. And we're going to attach this to the Lugia BREAK. I wonder if I should retreat right now. No, we're not going to do that. They might try to confuse us next turn. I can retreat then, putting 2 metal energy in the discard pile, and being able to use the Bronzong Metal Links ability. I got 2 Bronzong here. Ooh, Yveltal-EX. That could be worrisome, because it does have the Evil Ball, which does a lot of damage. And we're going to try to get a basic energy. There we go. But we do have Pressure ability. If we can find ourselves the Hard Charm or Assault Vest, that would come in pretty handy. So Moonlight Madness, alright. So as I say, we can retreat. We can N as well, but that's going to give them 6 cards. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just Sycamore and see what we get for 7 fresh cards. Let's go ahead and drop this Jamming Net on that Yveltal immediately. We do have another Bronzong here as well. So let's thin out the deck, see if we can find anything else. I don't think there's anything else Level Ball can get, though. Nope. Alright. But we can Escape Rope if we really want to. So here's what we're going to do, actually. We're going to retreat into the Lugia. We're going to attach this to the Lugia. We're going to use the Metal Links. Put this on the Lugia BREAK. And we will Metal Links with this one here. There's only 1 energy left. So here's the interesting thing. We're going to now Escape Rope. The opponent switches up into the Yveltal-EX. Lugia BREAK comes up. We can't use the Flash of Destruction yet, but we can go for the Intensifying Burn, doing double damage to the opposing Pokemon-EX. Now, they're being reduced damage by 40. And does 20 damage times the amount of energy plus 20 more for the basic attack itself. So that is 140 minus 40. Only 100 damage. We can survive that. Unless they put a double colorless, but still we'll survive that as well. So, let's see here. They did just put the Kangaskhan-EX to the bench. And I think they know the Yveltal-EX is pretty much going down at this point. Damage increased 80. Not a problem. We see a Float Stone. I kind of want to use that. Let me think here. I want to use the Versus Seeker. I can get Sycamore and get a whole new hand of cards. But I want to play these out first. First and foremost, let's put a Float Stone onto this Lugia here. Just in case this doesn't work out well, I'm going to switch, bring this Lugia up. I do have the free retreat thanks to the Float Stone. And let's go ahead and Sycamore for a new hand of 7 cards. See what we get to work with. Acrobike, very nice. Ooh! And they're going to end it right there, because they saw I was in a pretty good spot to take it from there with the Lugia BREAK. We get some more tokens and a mystery box. Alright, so Legend Carrot is up against the BREAK Guardian with a colorless and psychic deck. I got a cool little Froakie coin, but we're going to flip the nice metal coin, and ooh, we got heads. So let's go with the first turn, see if we can get ourselves set up nice and quickly. Starting off, ooh, nice card to start with too. We have Lugia in the active spot with the Pressure ability, so all damage they do is going to be reduced by 20 right off the bat. And we do have Acrobike for a little bit of draw support. Hoot Hoot, ooh, this could be an item drop deck. So let's go ahead and Acrobike and see what we find. Jamming Net, well, we're going to discard the energy regardless, once we can get the Metal Links ability in play. It's better to have that discarded than not. So let's put this onto the Lugia. Now the one worrisome thing is the fact that if this Hoot becomes knocked out, it does more damage based on the number of items in hand. But we get the pressure ability. I think we can survive a little bit longer. Of course, unless they have Wally and a double colorless, I don't think they can use the item. Well, there's double colorless. Lucky helmet. Okay. Ooh, the unknown with farewell letter. So this helps speed up a deck as well. It is a Pokemon that simply discards itself. It's not considered a knocked out Pokemon. You go to the discard pile with it. No, not Team Rocket's handiwork. I need my cards. Just lost the Mega Catcher. Oh, the top 2 cards, right, okay. I was like, why did I lose that much? So, Proclaim the Night. I can't play item cards during this turn. Do I want to go with Birch right now and hope for double colorless? I don't think that's the right play to make. I'm going to attach energy first, and now we're going to Professor Birch away. On a coin flip of heads, we do get 7 cards. And you see no double colors, but we have Bronzor here. And all we can do is end the turn. Next turn I can put an energy onto this Lugia and get the Intensifying Burn powered up, one-shot KOing the Hoot unless they get a knocked owl. Thanks to Tierno, you meddlesome little pest you. Look at that. I called it. So they can do the High Flight, 20 damage times the number of item cards in each player's hand. I've got 3. They could have a possible 2 now. But our pressure ability will weaken that, of course. I have Super Rod and a Versus Seeker. So a decent 80 damage, which is pretty painful. Let's go ahead and escape rope right now. Fortunately, we can play our items. So that's going to call for Skyla. I want to use her to find a Professor's Letter. Wherever that might happen to be. Uh-oh. Guess what, folks? No Professor's Letter. So, what can we do now? Well, I want to use Ultra Ball. But I don't need the Ultra Ball. I can use the Heavy Ball. I want to use this to find the Bronzong. Which we will do. I'm going to be able to play that to the active spot. Alright, and let me think here. I can Ultra Ball right now. Let's go ahead and Hand Club and Energy. Find ourselves Lugia BREAK. Alright, so drop this onto the Lugia. We'll attach a Hard Charm to it. We'll attach a Float Stone to Bronzong. Metal Links, we're going to attach a Metal Energy from discard pile to the Lugia BREAK. And now we can free retreat into the Lugia BREAK and go for the Intensifying Burn of a basic 60 damage to the Hoot. First prize is taken on my side. It's going to be a Versus Seeker. I do have Birch in here. Skyla could be useful as well. Alright, let's see what Knocked Owl goes for. They're going to Versus Seeker their own Tierno, probably trying to get some more items in hand to power up the High Flight. But that is totally fine. Yeah, High Flight, we see 2 items. I have 1. A meager 20 damage. So I can Versus Seeker. I can go ahead and power up for the Flash of Destruction immediately. And which card is going to be most useful? I think probably Birch. I can play Birch, shuffle my non-existent hand back into the deck, draw 7 more cards thanks to that flip of heads. And we drop a Lugia. Going to drop a Bronzor. Let's play this item before they make use of the High Flight once again. Let's find a Bronzong. And we can now start going for the Metal Links, attaching energy to the Benched Lugia. We do have Winona too. We can get some more colorless Pokemon out of the deck next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and Flash of Destruction. 150, bringing down Knocked Owl, losing 2 energy, but next turn I can attach those 2 energy onto Lugia. So we find ourselves a Professor's Letter. Another item I kind of didn't want to find, but that's okay. Let's see what the Deoxys happens to go for. There is the Farewell Letter once again from Unknown, drawing an additional card, helping to speed up the opposing deck. And the teammates, okay. So now that I've knocked out their Pokemon last turn, teammates lets them search their deck for any 2 cards of their choice. Definitely a good card if you expect to be losing Pokemon throughout the match. Ooh, Scorched Earth. And of course we can't make use of that, unfortunately. We don't have Fighting or Fire energy in the deck. But that's totally fine. Another Lucky Helmet is added to the Deoxys. And Close Encounter draws 2 cards, is it? Yes. So here's what I think I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and evolve into Bronzong. Let's Winona and find ourselves some more colorless Pokemon. I almost said white Pokemon. They are white, I guess. So Lugia BREAK, and Lugia. To the bench you go. Lugia BREAK evolves onto the bench. How many energy are in the discard pile at the moment? We have 2, excellent, that's all I needed. Metal Links one of them onto the Lugia BREAK down here. And we'll Metal Links a second one. Grab that one onto Lugia BREAK. I can now play Professor's Letter and grab another couple of Metal Energy from the deck. I can attach one from hand, which I'm going to do. And let's go ahead and retreat for the 2 energy into Lugia BREAK here. So I want to play the item card, just get rid of it. I think probably Sky will be the most useful. So we're going to bring her back into hand. And we're going to go for the Flash of Destruction, 150, bringing down Deoxys. Losing 2 energy, but gaining some more prizes, or at least 1 prize in the process. All that's left on the opposing side is a lone Noctowl. Here. Now they're going to try to beef up their hand with some more item cards, of course. Farewell, Letter. Unknown does discard himself to the discard pile. That's quite a decent hand they have. You know what? I'm going to end next turn. They're going to hate me for it, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So we might lose Lugia BREAK based on how many items they have. Yeah, they got quite a number of items. Lugia BREAK does fall. But that is okay because I have a plan. I'm going to send this Bronzong up with the Float Stone. We do have the free retreat, of course. And first and foremost, let's go ahead and drop the energy to the Lugia BREAK. We're going to get rid of their stadium with the Mountain Ring. Let's go ahead and get this Lugia evolved. Metal Links couple of energy onto this Lugia BREAK down here. No, you know, I should have actually given the energy to this Lugia BREAK because it's at full power. But that's alright, gotta work with what we have now. Once again, we'll Metal Links another energy to this one on the bench here. And let's N away. Yes, I think I'm okay with this. I'm gonna get 3 cards, but they're gonna go down to 5, so that's definitely useful. Alright, 5 cards drawn. We're going to retreat the Bronzong. For free, of course. Lugia BREAK becomes active. I want to play these items out. It's energy retrieval. Yes, it does ruin things, unfortunately. Unfortunately for me, of course. Okay, we're going to Ultra Ball, just to use up our items. Let's grab ourselves a Bronzor. We're going to bench that one. And since we just lost a Lugia BREAK, let's shuffle it back in. And Metal Energy as well. So all 3 cards get shuffled in. Going for the Intensifying Burn, only 60, but minimizing the damage this thing's going to do back to us. So can they speed their deck up a little bit more? There's a Hoot to the bench. They must have minimal energy in this, or not minimal energy, minimal items in hand to power up for the High Flight. How much energy is in the discard pile at the moment? 3 metal. Alright, so High Flight reveals 4 items, looks like. And 40 damage. We are 10 damage away from fainting with Lugia BREAK in the active spot. But the opponent realizes it's over. I can simply go for more energy power up. So that is some good energy recycling thanks to the Metal Links ability and the power of the Flash of Destruction with Lugia BREAK. Oh, we found ourselves some pretty cool stuff. We got a mystery box and tokens. So there we have it. So So that's going to wrap up this week's Pokemon TCG live online match featuring the power of Lugia BREAK and the nice energy recycling of the Metal Link's Bronzong from Phantom Forces. So feel free to leave a comment down below, everybody. Let me know what you thought of these matches and the deck strategy and any suggestions you have to improve this. Because if somebody likes this idea and they want to try to recreate this for themselves, any suggestions you have for improvement would be pretty useful. I find sometimes I like to run a lot of sort of random ideas that might play out, but sometimes they don't. So things like, for example, the Mega Catcher we make no use of. This could be swapped out for something more useful, like a Battle Compressor, perhaps, to get some metal energy in the discard pile. So as I said earlier in the video, feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and if we hit 25 likes on this video by next Monday, June 6th, which is when I'll be doing the next news update video thingy, then I will do an on-camera unboxing of the Darkrai Mythical Pokemon Collection, giving out the code card to a lucky viewer that participates in that question of the day. And if this video hits 50 likes, I'll unbox the Charizard-EX Red and Blue collection as well. Same deal, code card will go to a lucky participant in the question of the day for that video. So, as I said, share this video with your friends if they're interested in TCG. If you want to show off some of the kind of kooky, crazy strategies that I come up with each week, that's what I'm all about. And every Wednesday, I do another Pokemon TCG live online match featuring different kind of strategies and ideas. I've only got one break evolution left to take a look at, and let's find it right here. It's going to be Carbink Break, which I don't own yet, but you can see it right here. So this will be the final of the Break Evolution videos in next week's Pokemon TCG live online match, using the Diamond Gift attack to attach energy, not just basic, in the discard pile. So that's probably going to be a Battle Compressor sort of a deck. But as I said, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like. And if you're not currently subscribed and you're interested in seeing strategies like this in TCG Online, feel free to subscribe. And as I say, every Wednesday, I got another Pokemon TCG video that I like to put together. So with all that being said, I want to say thank you for checking out today's Pokemon TCG live online match featuring Lugia BREAK and the Flash of Destruction. It's kind of interesting, the Guardian of the Seas has a move called Flash of Destruction. But anyway, just a little bit of a random musing. I want to say thank you once again for checking out this video today, everybody, and I will catch you next time.